in detail. In Guyana, teachers and students among positive COVID-19 cases in Sitkadbert's mission. Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony, in his daily COVID-19 update Tuesday, confirmed that teachers and students from Sitkadbert's mission make up an estimated 20 active COVID cases in the Region 4 village, with students being the majority of that number. The minister said most of these people are in home isolation because they have tested positive. He noted that once a person has tested positive for the virus, the on-site team would work with them to get a list of the persons they would have come into contact with. According to Dr. Anthony, most of the persons who have been monitored were asymptomatic. The first dose of COVID-19 vaccines likely by next month. The first dose of the COVID-19 vaccines can be rolled out as early as next month, Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony revealed Tuesday. The health minister explained that the vaccines will be a limited amount and will be used to test the country's vaccination process. The health minister was quoted as saying, "COVAX have told us that they would like to start earlier, and they asked countries pertaining to the readiness and asked us to submit more documentation, which we did." Dr. Anthony explained once this process is successfully completed, the initial 3% dosage of the vaccines would then be rolled out. The first group of persons who will receive the vaccines will be healthcare workers, while the second dose will go to the older population and persons with comorbidities. While Guyana does not know which of the vaccines it will receive, it is being acquired through the COVAX mechanism. COVAX last week announced that it signed an advance purchase agreement with Pfizer for 40 million doses of its vaccines. Also in Guyana, Culture Ministry hosting Guyana Talent Search. The Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport is gearing up to launch Guyana Talent Search, which aims to provide Guyanese youth with the opportunity to showcase their talent. Minister Charles Ramson Jr. said that this initiative could attract local, regional, and international talent scouts, which could lead to a wide range of training and professional opportunities. The time is ripe for Guyana to utilize virtual platforms in this endeavor and to highlight our rich local culture, the minister said. To this end, the ministry will soon publish its upcoming cultural calendar of events. Minister Ramson is hopeful that the talent search would be as successful as other recent virtual events hosted by his ministry. Internationally, Goldman Sachs chief executive David Solomon will get a $10 million pay cut for the bank's involvement in the 1MDB corruption scandal. 1MDB was an investment fund set up by the Malaysian government that lost billions due to fraudulent activity. The global web of fraud and corruption led to a 12-year jail term for Malaysia's ex-Prime Minister Najib Razak, which he's appealing. Goldman Sachs called its involvement in the scandal an institutional failure. Goldman Sachs helped raise $6.5 billion for 1MDB by selling bonds to investors, the proceeds of which were largely stolen. Prosecutors alleged that senior Goldman executives ignored warning signs of fraud in their dealings with 1MDB and Jolo, an advisor to the fund. 2 Goldman bankers have been criminally charged in the scandal. In the United States, U.S. President Joe Biden will sign a series of executive orders aimed to address climate change, including a new ban on some energy drilling. The orders aim to freeze new oil and gas leases on public lands and double offshore wind-produced energy by 2030. They are expected to meet stiff resistance from the energy industry and come as a sea change from Donald Trump, who cut environmental protections. Biden will also label climate change a national security priority. The series of executive orders that Biden is due to sign on Wednesday will establish a White House Office of Domestic Climate Policy and announce a summit of leaders in a movement to tackle climate change to be held in April. Biden will also call upon the U.S. Director of National Intelligence to prepare an intelligence report on the security implications of climate change. In sports, the 2021 IPL player auction will be held on February 18 in Chennai, the league announced with a tweet on Wednesday. The announcement comes after the IPL Governing Council meeting on January 6, where it was decided that the 2021 edition of the tournament would remain an 8-team event. With the second test of the India-England series scheduled to end on February 17, the first two tests are in Chennai and the last two in Ahmedabad. February 18 presents the organizers with a day-long window to conduct the auction. The 8 franchises had announced their list of retained and released players by the deadline of January 20. It is, however, not yet certain if the tournament will be held in India. The 3-member governing council, headed by Brijesh Patel, deliberated on the matter in that meeting at the start of the year and kept their options open. And finally, a U.S. gymnast routine celebrating black excellence has gone viral with millions of views on social media. The flow routine by Nia Dennis, an athlete at the University of California in Los Angeles, UCLA, incorporated songs by artists including Kendrick Lamar, Beyoncé, and Missy Elliott. She said Black Lives Matter protests inspired the performance, which saw her kneel with her fist in the air. The 21-year-old wrote on Instagram, "I had to, for the culture." The routine wowed the judges and earned her praise from celebrities, fellow athletes, and fans. A video shared by UCLA Gymnastics was viewed more than 9 million times. That is the news at this time. Special credits to the PI Newsroom, iNews Guyana, and BBC. For these stories and more, visit realfmgy.com.